Hey there, Insider family. It's Sindy Thomas, your career coach and strategist. Welcome to Season 6 of the Insider's Career Club podcast. We were recently rated in the top 20 podcasts by FeedSpot. Now, in these podcasts, industry professionals share the real behind their careers. You won't get my insider perspective backed by 25 years in talent acquisition anywhere else. So stay tuned. There's a great guest waiting in the wings. Let's dive in. Hey, Insider family, it's Sindy Thomas, and I am going to be your guest speaker today. Today's topic is 6 ways to spot a fake job listing. The information that I share with you today, that if you use it, if you follow it, will help you keep your important data safe. Okay, so let's get started. Now, we already know, because it happens to us on a daily basis or almost daily basis, that we get texts, emails, robocalls trying to offer us something, trying to sell us something, trying to get our information. There are bad actors trying to scam us in every area of our lives to get our valuable information, our money, or both. The scammers are in those emails that we get. They're in the texts and social media. And while I'm thinking about it, if you get an email, there is one way to check and see if it is a real email from a company. And that is, you take your mouse and you hover over the email address. It will show you where that email came from and whether or not it's just a regular Gmail account or a Microsoft MSN account rather than a company account. So that is one way you can check out where that email came from. Now, moving on. So let's say that you are unemployed or you're just in a job search and you are doing your normal routine, which is you go to your websites and you put in a search parameters for the position that you are interested in, and you start looking over the results that you get, and you find something that you want to apply for. There's a great job on one of those major boards. It could be Glassdoor, it could be Google Jobs, it could be LinkedIn. It looks so good, you decide to apply right there. Stop. Don't do it. Don't apply there. And here are the reasons why. Instead, go directly to the company's website and apply there. This will do 2 things for you. The first is, when you do the search on the company's website and you find the job, you will know for sure that that position is still viable. And 2, it will ensure the company and the right person in the company is getting your application. Now, the reason I am telling you this is because when recruiters post positions, we post them on, usually as a recruiter, I use LinkedIn almost exclusively, and Indeed. Sometimes there were specialty sites for a different type of position, one that would have been what we classified as hard to fill. So you find job sites that maybe those candidates might be on or look at. Now, when a company puts a position on their website, other job boards, some job boards that we don't necessarily work with or use, come to the website, the company website, and they scrape it. They take the positions off and put them on their job board. Now, when that happens, as a recruiter working on that position, I no longer have control over where that job posting went, because I did not post it. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense to you, because when I have posted positions and they are, we got an offer out or it's been accepted and we're just waiting for someone to start, we take those positions down. But I only have control over the job boards that I posted it on. So as a recruiter, I have worked for lots of different companies, and sometimes I will get contacted about a position that I worked on years ago that somebody found out there in the internet, and they applied for it. They're interested in it. That's because somebody scraped that job and put it in places unknown to me or the company. So it's real important to go to the company website and apply there. So adopt this mantra. If it's not on the company website, it's not viable. Let's move on to number 2. Let's say you've got an email or a text about a job, but somehow it seems a little too good to be true. Now, recruiters do email and text you. I know that. But generally, their jobs sound reasonable. They're not paying, $400 or $500 an hour or some exorbitant amount of money. So you've got this email or a text, but you can't reach the recruiter directly because the email address is like a general mailbox or something. That's generally viable that has the company address. If the recruiter doesn't have a verifiable company email, or the email that you're responding to doesn't go to the company and you can't get them to hop on the call, don't apply for that job because you have no other way to respond to them. Now, I can share with you as a contract recruiter, I generally worked on site. Sometimes I did a combination of on-site and remote, but I always had an official email address for the company that I was recruiting for. Now, I want to make a couple of distinctions here. I'm not referring to recruiters from reputable agencies. These are agencies that have been around for years. They're ones you probably know. Places like Aerotech, companies like Aerotech, Adecco, Randstad, even Robert Half. Those recruiters will have email addresses from the company that they are actually employed by. But the difference with that is recruiters that are working for the company will often engage an outside agency to work alongside with them to help them fill positions that may be difficult to fill. So what I'm talking about is you get an email or a text about a job that you never applied for, and the details are sketchy. You don't have a recruiter's name or a valid email address. That's the red flag I'm speaking about. If you want to verify them and you have an opportunity to reach out to them, whether it's email or text, ask them for a verifiable website address so you can check them out. If they can't give you one, hang up. Number 3. Another thing to watch for is when you apply for a job and the link that's provided takes you somewhere and routes you through several ads, other job boards, or other odd signups. That's a big red flag. It's like when you are driving and you see that there's a detour coming. The detour takes you to streets, winds you around in a circle, takes you to back alleys, streets, courts, places you've never been to. You really don't know where you're going to end up. It's the same in cyberspace. When you've been routed in different places, pinged in different places, whatever you want to call it, and it's not the original place you went to sign up for a job, don't apply for that job. Go to the company website. That's the clearest and most straightforward way to get your application where you want it to be. Now, maybe number 4 is maybe you've applied for a remote position that you're interested in. Doesn't give you a whole lot of information. Or maybe, when you look at the job description, they hide a lot of stuff. You got to search real hard for it. If you can't find much on the company, take the advice from that robot in that television program. It was recently rebooted, I think last year or the year before. It's called Lost in Space. There is a robot, and I know the original version of that show, that would warn one of the main characters. His name was Will Robinson. When he was about to get into danger, the robot would caution him, "Danger, danger, Will Robinson, abort." Well, take that robot's advice. If you are going through that, don't apply for that job. Number 5, let's say you get a call from a recruiter or someone that calls themselves a recruiter, and they get you involved in applying for a position that they're telling you about over the phone. But when they continue to speak to you, their process that they're involving you in skips steps. So there's no real phone screen where they're asking you a lot of questions and vetting you. There's no interview where you're actually talking to a manager or a team that works with that manager. You're just going to get an offer. And they're going to do it over the phone or send you something via email. They want to get your personal information. They may ask you for a social security number or other personal information. This is a flaming red flag. Don't give those people anything, okay? They're scamming you. They just want to get a hold of your information. Hang up immediately. Number 6. Now, if the job description does not look original, but looks like it's maybe been cut and pasted, and you can tell that because it has a lot of mistakes in it, and the type, when you cut and paste a lot, gets fuzzy around the edges. If it's too good to be true, or the person calling themselves a recruiter does not have any details about the job that already aren't in the posting, hang up. Now, when you're looking for work, and actually always, it's important to trust your gut. Because if something feels off, it generally is. Now, stay tuned for some important information. Okay, I'm going to describe someone, and I want to know if it reminds you of someone. Maybe you. You've been looking for a job for a while. You're a strong leader with years of experience, but your job search is stalled. You're frustrated, you're not getting interviews, or maybe you are getting interviews, and the interviews that you're receiving, you're not doing a good job in them. You walk away, and they didn't go as you expected. Now, each time this happens, it chips away at your confidence. You're losing valuable time, and you're scared. Scared that you're going to have to settle for a job that's beneath your capabilities. If this is you need clarity. Now, if you want a resume and a LinkedIn profile that finally sound like you, that come across clear, confident, and differentiated. If you want to do if you want to do interviews where you can speak about your leadership, impact, and strengths without second-guessing yourself. Or maybe you want recruiters reaching out because your positioning is sharp and compelling and draws them in. What about doing a job search that feels structured instead of scattered, strategic, and aligned with your goals? If you're ready for that kind of clarity, contact me on LinkedIn and put in the keyword clarity, and I'll reach out to you and we'll figure out what next steps are, okay? Now, I want to thank you for listening because your support's a blessing. Now, if you enjoyed the podcast, give us a positive rating on Apple. And remember, new podcasts are released every 2 weeks on the first and third Wednesdays. And share this with your friends, please. Now, before you go, let's speak victory over you. No matter what it feels like, you've got a bright future. Good breaks are looking for you, and new doors are about to open. But one thing you have to do is to believe it. Believe it, believe it, believe it. Now, until next time, take care.